Hey friends, thanks for joining me for another episode of Mr. Will Reads. Tonight we're going to look at this book. It's called Arm in Arm by Remy Charlip. And as you can see, this book is a little bit beat up. And the reason why is because I actually found this book on the ground. Isn't it wonderful when you find beautiful things like this on the ground? Well, luckily, it's still readable, but it's a nice reminder of why we should always take care of our books and be gentle with our books and not throw them around or leave them on the ground. And the reason I like this book a lot is because it is not so much a story that you read from beginning to end as kind of a series of moments or events that you can experience. And a lot of the pages are just full of words and pictures and images that repeat over and over again, and it's more of just experiencing something really beautiful. So, we're going to read maybe not the whole book, but portions of the book that I think are that you'll particularly enjoy. So, let's take a look, shall we? Arm in Arm by Remy Charlip. This is just the inner page, which is already so beautiful. And it says, Arm in Arm, a collection of connections, endless tales, reiterations, that means things that are repeating, and other echolalia by Remy Charlip. Here are some things that are repeating. Check it out. This person flipping over. Let's start the story. Two octopuses got married and walked down the aisle, arm in arm and arm in arm and arm in arm and arm in arm, in arm 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 in arm. Isn't it better to be in a warm bed, saying, isn't it better to be in a warm bed rather than out in the cold snow? Rather than out in the cold snow, saying, isn't it better to be in a warm bed rather than out in the cold snow? It was a dark and stormy night. We were standing on the deck. The ship was sinking. The captain said to me, "Tell me a story, my son." And so it began. It was a dark and stormy night. We were standing on the deck. The ship was sinking. The captain said to me, "Tell me a story, my son." And so it began. It was a dark and stormy night. No worm, no bird, no cat, no dog, no man, no house, no tree, no woods, no land, no water, no clouds, no sky, no sun, nothing, no picture. How theater was born. A play. First caveman hitting second caveman with club. Ugh. Whack. Second caveman passing out. Ouch. Cave boy applauding. Hooray, hooray, do it again. do not read this sign. What is written on the other side of this page is wrong. Let's see what it is. What is written on the other side of this page is wrong. Oh, and look at all these beautiful cats. The moon sees me, I see the moon, and just a bunch of copycats, it says. Copycat, 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 copycat. Two birds came, sat on a stone. One flew away. Then there was one. The other flew away. Then there was none. Poor stone all alone. Two birds came, sat on a stone. And then it repeats over here again. One flew away. Then there was none. Then there was one, excuse me. The other flew away. Then there was none. Poor stone all alone. Two birds came, sat on a stone. You can repeat that as many times as you like. And then down here it says, there's a chicken and an egg, and it says, who was here first? Me or you? Don't question it. Be grateful we have one another, the egg says. Before me, peaceful. Beside me, peaceful. Behind me, peaceful. Above me, peaceful. Below me, peaceful. All around me, peaceful. Me, peaceful. Look at those friends up there in the cloud. Isn't that nice? This is a circular song. Oh, sorrow, pillow, window, rainbow. Sorrow, pillow, window. You can sing it as many times as you like. Oh, here's a nice little mini story. Once in China, a man gave an artist money to make a painting of a fish. The man waited several years, and whenever he saw the artist, he asked for the painting. After waiting several more years, the man grew angry. He went to the artist's house and demanded the painting. The artist took a piece of paper, dipped his brush in paint, and with ease dashed off the most beautiful painting of a fish. The man was astonished. If it was so simple, he said, why didn't you do it sooner? In reply, the artist slid open a door. Thousands of paintings of fish fell out. I've been thinking about a very little mountain, covered all over with very little flowers, and on top a very little house with very little windows. And if you look into one of the very little windows of this very little house, you will see a very little boy sitting on a very little chair next to a very little table. And do you know what is on the very little table? The very little birthday cake with very little candles. And do you know what the little boy is doing? He is blowing out the candles because it is his birthday. But he has to be very, very careful because it has to be a very little blow. This is not the end. 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 Whenever I take a stroll through the pages of this book, it makes me think about all of the beauty and mystery and magic in this world, and how I have so much more to learn and so much more to discover about the world and about myself. How did the book make you feel? I think books make people feel all sorts of different ways, and that's okay. Well, thanks again for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope you have a good night or a good day wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.